A black police officer was undercover with a white colleague during a protest in 2017 where they were both arrested by their unknowing coworkers. The white officer walked away unharmed. The black officer had his phone smashed, he was beaten, and suffered permanent neck injuries. Let that part sink in for a second there. Permanent neck injuries. So Dustin Boone, a former cop with the St. Louis Police Department, was found guilty Thursday of depriving his fellow officer, Detective Luther Hall. Is that Hall? Yeah, Luther Hall, his civil rights. And he's looking at like 10 years in the bank. Mm-hmm. Now, the two former cops with the department, Randy and Bailey, both pleaded guilty. And they're looking at some time. Fuck those niggas too. But the part that when I was reading this, I'm like, you're undercover. Look, police. We say the internet's gonna internet, right? We say Karens are gonna Karen. The police is gonna police, and we know what that means, especially if you look like this. So I get it. You're undercover. I'm like, why didn't he just identify himself as an officer? And then when you read further, it says he didn't want to out himself to the other people at the protests. But
because that could have been even worse.
Really, how? What would have happened?
Because now people are going to be talking about the cops spying on their protests, and that's going to be a whole different thing for the police department.
Well, yeah, he was documenting it.
Yeah, he's going to be the face. Yeah, because he was there documenting the protests. I guess, I don't know if it was to make sure it was safe. It just said to document. So I don't know what the documenting was. But could you imagine if people found out that, I'm sure it happens, but you don't want to be known as the guy who did it. And then you're black at a black protest, spying on the black people. Come on now.
I got to be honest with you, Murrow. Let me ask you this question. If you had a black friend and your black friend was like, yo, man, I've been online, Googling, I'm sending emails, I'm researching. I cannot find a clan like a KKK in Ontario that I can join. Like, bro, can you help me out? I gotta find one. And then he finally finds a clan party somewhere in Ontario and he joins. And then he calls you one night and he's like, man, the KKK, they just fucked me up, man. I need help. Would you feel bad for your friend?
First of all, you'd have to pick a different group other than KKK.
Well, the reason why,
life, no.
Well, obviously, but the reason why I'm saying KKK is because the cops are essentially the clan with a badge. They just are. I don't really give a shit what you say. So the reason why I gave that example is because, bro, this was your decision to be a cop. You chose to be a cop. The cops have always been the same. This isn't something new, what they're doing with black people, minorities, etc., etc. They've always been about this, and you still chose to join the cops. So the same way, this hypothetical friend that joined the Klan and got fucked up by the Klan, I wouldn't feel bad for them. I don't really feel bad for this nigga. I'm sorry.
I don't know about all that. I'm a different opinion on that, because I feel like this is an institution, and although people say one person can't make a difference, I feel like the problem right now is that there is white cops beating black people. So if I have a problem with that and I'm black, I know I can't defeat that from the outside. I can't be outside of that blue wall and really have an effect. But I know that if I get inside of that blue wall, I have an opportunity now to at least rise in the ranks to a position where I might be able to affect some kind of change.
No.
For the better of my people.
No, you don't. No,
well, you don't. You can absolutely sit here and say that. You can.
I can say it with proof.
I mean, you can say that because it's the police force is what it is right now. A lot of police
and there's
chiefs,
bad niggas in it.
Black police, but look at the places that do have black police chiefs where the police force is mainly black, and this is not a problem. And I know that sounds stupid.
Toronto.
I know that sounds stupid, but a lot of people say black on black crime. Black people like to beat up black people. Okay, well, how come the police forces that are mainly black do not have that type of brutality against other black people in their communities then? The only way that's possible is to infiltrate the system.
I don't know of one police force that is mainly black. The only reason why fair. All right, because it's mostly black people in Atlanta. But you tell me that there's no police violence, and I could Google it right now.
I'm pretty sure
and I would just be guessing. But I guarantee there's gonna be stories. But
If you find the story, and you send it to me.
no, we'll do it right now. Fuck it.
No, nigga, ain't nobody sitting here waiting right now for that shit, man. You gotta do that shit some other time.
We'll do it right now.
This nigga is really, and you're gonna pull up a story from 2014 on me, and I'm gonna be like, come on, that's what we doing? You're gonna go back to the entire history of Atlanta? Okay.
No, why would I do that? I'm just typing in police brutality.
Because every time I hear about police brutality, it comes from Minnesota, it comes from Washington, it comes from one of these southern ass states where they probably still got slaves, shit going on.
Atlanta police shooting. Rayshard Brooks' death declared homicide. This was on June 15, 2020. So the point is police are gonna police. If you choose to join the police, you got to take what comes with that. Just like when we're on this podcast, we say a lot of stuff that people don't agree with. We catch the slander, we catch the heat, we catch the licks. But we still chose to say it. We got to take what comes with that. Does this suck? Do I feel bad for the brother? Of course, I'm not an animal. But what I'm trying to say is you cannot be surprised by this. You can't. This was your choice. It's just like when O.J. Simpson, man, white people loved O.J. Man, they love that nigga. Just like Michael Jackson. Man, they love that nigga. As soon as a little bit of dirt, Cosby, little bit of dirt. Oh boy. Oh boy. They remind you that you're not one of them real quick.
That's cool, man. You can continue to sit back. You can continue to sit back and be the person who complains about the problems. And
who said anything about complaining? I didn't say.
And I will continue to support the people who are doing things that may not be the popular opinion, but can affect change more than others can.
And to be very clear, just to your point,
you're complaining. You don't like police brutality. You don't like it.
Who does?
It's a problem for you.
Who does?
Okay, so then that's complaining about it. That's complaining about it.
No. That's me pointing it out. That's me
he's doing
pointing
is
it out.
He decided to join the force to try to make a change. He decided to do an action that he thought could make a change. Whereas not you personally, because I'm not sure exactly what you've done, but I know a lot of people who like to sit there and get mad about the police. All they do is hashtag and post on the internet. They're not doing nothing. At least he's out there doing something. You understand what I'm saying? So we can sit here and bash
what is he doing?
All day for his
But
job choice.
what is he doing?
He's trying to enter into the system. He's getting on the other side of the blue
I
wall.
just want to remind you who this officer was, to your own point, what you said earlier in this segment. He was undercover infiltrating a BLM rally, documenting. Why was he documenting? We don't know.
That's exactly
I know,
what
but did you? But didn't you also just say the reason he didn't out himself?
To show how peaceful the protest was.
But if that was the case, why wouldn't he have said that then? See, this is what I'm saying. So you're trying to make it sound like this nigga's super righteous, and maybe he was. I don't know. But the point is he was at a BLM rally undercover, chose not to identify himself. I'm assuming for fear of his own, to protect his own safety. That's what I'm assuming.
That's what I'm guessing.
Right.
Too. Yeah, that's
okay then. So what the fuck you there undercover for like that? Documented. Why can't you just be like, hey, I'm a cop. I support what y'all doing. I'm just taping this shit.
Undercover's undercover, man. Undercover's undercover.
All right. See
Undercover's
what I'm saying?
undercover.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? I ain't never gonna be no cop. My cousin Mox. I won't use his real name. I use his tag name, Mox. He said, "Hey, I want to be a cop." I said, "Hey, you're not. You can be either you're gonna be a dirty cop or you ain't gonna be in this family. I'm sorry, we don't fuck with cops. So it is what it is. Until they make the necessary changes, not a fan."
Well, then continue to sit back and wait for that to happen, man.
Who's waiting for it to happen?
Everybody's waiting for it to happen. Nobody wants police brutality to happen anymore, so they want to change, right? So you're waiting for it to happen, right? Stop being difficult, man.
It's not happening.
You're just being difficult right now.
I'm telling you what it is. It's not happening.
Stop.
It's not happening.
Okay, man. Whatever, man.
I'm just saying.
You gonna live forever, and all right, cool.
You think it's gonna happen?
You got to start something in order to finish. You got to start, and maybe we won't see the full journey. Maybe we won't see progress, but you got to start somewhere, man. And I feel like if the more black people that get out of the mentality that you're in, and more that get into the mentality that I'm in, get into the system, join the system that you have a problem with. if there's more of you inside of that system, it's going to be harder for people to go against it all the time, especially if those people keep moving up. You can only resist people for so long, man. Why do you think they have black police chiefs now? You think they want that shit? They don't want it. They need it because of BLM.
So black people, you go be a cop. Do what he says.
Or whatever job you feel will make a change in the world that will positively, that you don't like right now, that you feel is the negative thing. Go and try to do that job and try to make a change in it. That's what you do. The fuck? Talking about sitting back.
Mad niggas are watching this and like, this nigga's crazy.
I don't give a fuck what they think, man. Those are the same niggas. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. That's uneducated mentality. That's an uneducated mentality. You have to humble yourself, take your pride out of it, and understand what will make a greater good for the most people. And sometimes you got to do shit you don't like. In fact, 90 to 95% of the time, in order to affect real change, you're going to have to do some shit that's either violent or some shit that you don't like. That's how you affect fucking change here, man. Yeah. You don't sit back and hashtag and fucking complain about it. And talk to your friend about it and try to hold a conversation with your white friends.
So what do you think? What do you think is more? What do you think is more impactful as far as change? The BLM movement, as far as like the cops, or cops being black people joining the force?
I feel that what would be a bigger thing is if see, that's so, because black people aren't joining the force like that.
No. But I'm asking you a question.
Hypothetically, that's what I'm saying. Hypothetically, if black people were to change the mentality and join the force like that they have such a problem with, that would definitely affect more change than these. Come on.
So I can't. All right, this is where we have to. This is where we have to end the conversation, and I'll tell you why. Because the BLM movement is actually like instilled things like defund the police and things of that nature, which actually impacts the cops. Niggas have been joining the force forever. Niggas still get killed. So
not at the right, because because more niggas have your fucking mentality. You know this. More niggas have your mentality.
What are you talking about?
The police are the enemy. I don't want to fuck. I would never be a cop.
What I'm saying, what you literally said is black people attack the beast from the inside, join the police force, move up the ranks. Black people have been doing that. Niggas still die by the hands of cops. Minorities still die by the hands of cops. Ain't shit changed, at least on the surface level that we could see. BLM, defund the police. Put one on the chalkboard. That's all I'm saying.
If I had to ask you right now, like we just said before, the only police force that I can see being majority black is Atlanta, because it's just a lot of black people there. So what I'm telling you right now is, yes, there are black people joining, but if you have a group of 100 and 4 of them are fucking black, it's not going to affect any change, because the other 96 that could have joined and made it even 100 have the mentality that the cops are the enemy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Majority of the people have the mentality the cops are the enemy. But so there's not people joining in those numbers.
Yeah.
See, anything that we have to do has to be done in unison and in large numbers, unfortunately, no matter what it is.
Yeah, but you know, the word you use all the time is precedence. So if you have a majority black police department, they're still cops, and they still need to act accordingly. They still need to act as such. You know why? Because if they don't, and they try to change the way things are going, they try to set a precedence, you think that people are going to be okay with that? They're not okay with that. Why do you think that some cops can't march in uniform and shit like that? Like this, if you want to be a cop, this is how we do things. Period.
All I'm saying is, there's more black people. If there's more black people on the force and these situations come up where these black kids are getting shot and getting all this stuff, and I'm not saying that, because there have been black cops that were present at these things, but that's an easy explain off, because I'm not trying to lose my job as the black cop because I went against my fellow white officers because I'm scared to lose my job type of mentality is probably what they have when they do shit like that. But if there was more black officers on the force for these situations, these things would not occur as often. I'm not saying they would stop completely, because that's crazy, but they would. Come on, you're gonna picture a white cop with a black partner, and he knows his partner is for real black, not like that I'm playing a role, I gotta be nice type of vibe. No. I for real support my black people. You think he's gonna choke another black boy? You think he's gonna shoot another black boy in that other cop's presence?
Yes.
I don't see that. I don't know.
Yes,
You're crazy.
I do.
I don't see that happening.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't. And if it does happen, you better believe there's going to be some serious backlash, because that black cop's not just going to sit around. He's not just going to sit around and be like, "Oh, this is what it is." They can take it to different places, and there's places.
Do I need to also
areas
Google the cop who tried to stand up and then he lost his job and all that other type of shit?
So like I said to you before, there's always going to be examples, because right now the numbers are not where I keep repeating. I feel like I keep talking in circles. You can pull all the fucking examples you want. I keep telling you, the reason that it happens
there's not enough black people. You need more black people on the force.
Then stop saying the
because
same
it
shit
doesn't make
over and
sense
over,
what you're saying. What I'm trying to
It does make sense.
No,
it does make sense. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Doesn't make sense.
Your mentality's still stuck.
You know why it doesn't make sense? Because a cop is a cop. It doesn't matter what shade of skin they are. Blue. You understand? Blue. Cops bleed blue. You know how they say we're all the same? We all bleed red? No, cops bleed blue. It's literally a gang.
Nobody's born a cop. They become cops. You do know that, right?
Yes,
so
of course. And when they become
and when the same farm or some shit.
When they become cops, that's the side they take. They choose that over everything else. Doesn't matter what color the skin is. You're a cop through and through. That's why cops don't go against each other. Is this new? Right. Is this new to you?
It's not that. And the mentality is the way it is because of the majority of people who are on the force. I don't get what you're not understanding about that. That's the only reason the mentality is that. If it was not the case, the mentality might be a little bit different.
I disagree totally.
Cool, do whatever you want, but what I'm saying makes sense. You're just not listening because you don't want to.
No, I'm hearing it. I just totally disagree.
No, I believe you're hearing it.
I believe 100% disagree.
I know it's definitely going
100%.
I know that for sure.
I don't think
like
that
in the middle here, before it comes out the other side, there's like a little bit of fuzz.
No,
and so what I'm saying,
totally disagree. But viewing public, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think if the police force was mostly black? Do you think if the police force was mostly Asian, mostly Hispanic, mostly Indian, mostly just non-white? Do you think that these murders, these uncalled for, unjust murders would decrease? Maybe not end, but just decrease, go down in numbers. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments, because inadvertently, really what you're saying is the majority of cops are white, so the police force is majority white.
That's facts. That's not what I'm saying. That's
but I'm not finished yet.
The people who are in power, especially where we are right now, are white.
So what I'm saying, but technically what you're saying is, since the majority of the police force is white, if there was to be a shift in identity and the majority was to be black, let's just go with that. Really what you're saying, since the murders would go down, you're really kind of saying that white people are just more racist than black people.
They're at risk now, or
no. What you're saying is white people are more racist than black people.
Homie, we're talking about white cops beating black people. Stop putting words in my mouth.
I'm just saying, this is what you're saying.
You're not going to do it to me. You're not going to do it to me. It's not going to happen.
Public, leave it in the comments, man. I'm just hearing what he's saying, and
no, you are not.
What are your thoughts here, man? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces.